I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Jim Padilla. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I am living the dream. It's nice, sunny Northern California, not a cloud in the sky. You know, life is good.
Oh, that's good to hear. Good to hear. Well, Jim, please do tell us which of your talents is responsible for us meeting.
Sales conversions. I lead sales teams. I have outsourced sales teams for service-based entrepreneurs, and we've just had an incredible run these past few years.
That sounds great. You definitely sound happy. Ooh, I love it. So tell me, who did you learn the skill of what it is required to build sales teams?
Most of it has been just through the School of Hard Knocks, a lot of trial and error. Pretty much what I've learned is how to do everything possible the wrong way. And we finally landed on, by process of elimination, doing it all the right way.
Yeah. Well, that does need to be considered a hefty investment, right? Even
Yes.
for the individuals coming in. You know, I've had my experience where I've banged my head against the wall so many times that I can now help others not bang their head against the wall, right?
That's what it's about.
Yeah. But I'm intrigued. How do you value yourself in a situation like that?
Well, quite honestly, the thing here for me is I grew up in a very in a turbulent household. So my childhood was not full of unicorns and rainbows, and I spent a lot of time working really hard to make sure the people around me actually liked me. You know, I was in an abused home, and then I spent time in foster care, and I had to spend much of my time trying to create the environment for people to feel comfortable and safe around me, because that way they wouldn't hurt me. That was the way I saw it. You know, when you're 5 years old and your mother's beating you, you assume it's because you're doing something wrong. And so it's just a skill set that I acquired for survival primarily.
Wow. So, I mean, having that being said, that was built on a foundation as such, why will you continue to repeat this skill?
Because it became, as I matured and got later in life, you fast forward 30 years, and now I make a lot of money teaching other people how to make people feel safe around them. Because to me, that's what the sales conversation is about. It's not about moving products. It's about helping people make great decisions. And I believe that people make great decisions when they're at their peak state. And you can't get them to their peak state unless you understand how to manage your own environment to get yourself to peak state.
Yeah, I love that. That definitely transcends into many aspects of life, right? And
sure.
I love that. I love the fact that you started from home base, if you would. In order to get the home run, you needed to start from home base. So is it that you're helping people heal these instances of pain before they go forward?
Well, you know, it's interesting because for me, that's not my particular. I'm good at it, but there's people who do it better. My main thing is awareness, right? Awareness and embracing the mindset. You know, because I've overcome so much, I've learned that I don't take anybody's excuse. You know, it's like you're making choices. If you choose to stay in this stuck, messy place you are, it's not because the circumstances held you there. It's because you decided to stay there. Because you know, by all rights, I should be dead. I should be in prison. I should be strung out on drugs. There's no way I should be living the life that I live from the path I took.
Yeah.
But it's because I chose to overcome.
I love it. So Jim, tell us, where can we go to find out more about what you do and how you provide your services?
We have a website, Gain the Edge Now, GAINTHEEDGE now.com. And then if you're into Facebook, you can find us there on Facebook. And what we have there is we've got videos and resources that are all about how to help you. We try to give as much as possible because we're a little bit on the high end, and our specialty is outsourced sales. So most people who come to us are people who are really cooking. And since we can't help everybody with our services, we try to help them with our just gifts of knowledge and in education. So Jim and Cyndi, Done For You Sales on Facebook.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Well, tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
Yeah, one is take incredible amounts of action. We just move at the speed of light, and I probably make more mistakes in a month than most people make in a year, and we learn fast and apply the knowledge, the wisdom. The other is I have spent an incredible amount of effort to get close to my Savior, Jesus Christ, and daily it's about being in touch and having Him at the center of my life, because otherwise I'm just wasting time.
Interesting. How does it make you feel?
It's incredible because, life is not easy, and it's never going to be easy. I mean, even Jesus didn't promise us an easy life. He promised us peace in the midst of it. And so that's what we all should be striving for.
Yeah. So suggest to someone out there, right, why they should do what you've done.
Because that's our obligation as human beings. We were not put here to just pass time. We were put here to impact the world. And the gifts that you have were not given to you so that you can use them. Your gifts were given so that everybody else can benefit. And so our obligation is to spend our time perfecting our craft and who we are so that other people can benefit from the gifts that we've got.
Amazing audience. We are live right now with Jim Padilla. Do check him out on gaintheedgenow.com. Jim, let's switch gears for a moment now and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Jim, what is your earliest childhood memory?
Well, as I mentioned, wasn't very friendly, so I don't have a lot of happy ones. But my first childhood memory was about 5 years old, standing on the sidewalk, watching our apartment building burn up because my stepfather fell asleep on the couch with a lit cigarette. And I just remember standing out there as a 5-year-old kid in my underwear with a blanket wrapped around me, watching fire department and all kinds of people run around and just trying to figure out what the heck just happened here.
So why do you think this memory is so clear?
So many different ways you could really interpret that. But for me, it's just, again, surviving and overcoming. I could have been inside that fire.
Yeah. Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Please.
I've heard this guy on the podcast. I forgot his name, but he does. I think it's Jason Strickland, if I'm not mistaken. He does a podcast, How Stuff Works, right? Uh-huh. And he was telling me it was a long story. And what he spoke about is the value of what happens when you plant on what's burned. So the ashes, right, provides a nutrient source that really creates a better plant. And he went on long to tell the story, but the thing that came to my mind was just that, the fire, the flame does provide ashes, and ashes, does provide a nutrient. If you do choose, just as you said to the beginning of this conversation, you can make the choices. You could get out of the mess and understand that it is a platform for growth.
Amen. I like that.
If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Well, at that age in my life, I was all about Michael Jackson. So it was probably, and in that time, it was like the Off the Wall album. So it was probably like Rock With You, He was the king of pop, man. He was everything at that time.
Yeah, I love to connect things, even with sales, right? It's a lot of rocking with you,
For
right?
sure.
I wanna rock with you. That's wonderful. It's wonderful. Hey, now we have arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to go pretty quickly here. Jim, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes, I have 3 incredibly high-achieving daughters that are out to conquer the world. And their blessing and their curse is that I am their father.
Love it, love it. So, two questions. Well, we know you're married. You're married, right?
Yes.
And from the picture on your website, how do you keep a woman smiling like that?
I have really learned with 3 daughters, a wife, and a team. We have about 60 people on our team, almost all women. I have learned that we are all both masculine and feminine, and that have to really understand what's going on the other side of the equation. So I have learned to be curious and ask great questions and never assume anything.
That's wonderful. Do you believe in God?
Absolutely.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Definitely. Vital.
Do you watch TV?
Uh,
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Not anymore. We actually disconnected cable this year so that we could really focus on serving God, building our business, and diving more into ourselves.
Wow. What about screen time? The phone and the computer, is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
I would love to say it's less, but no, it's more than 8.
All right, Jim, after 1,001 conversations in 2016, I came up with a workbook. The name of it is called Yours. It stands for your own unique real self. And as you dig deeper, you uncover your own unique real statement, your mission. If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Jim Padilla, what would you say that is?
It's not about what you're saying or doing. It's about who you're being while you're saying or doing it.
Love it. Jim, this was a great pleasure, my friend. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Yeah, just remember that you are never at the mercy of your circumstances, that you get to dictate the environment. So always know that no matter what the struggle is, your gift is on the other side of it.
Love it. Jim Padilla, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Absolutely, man. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.